Let us get them started in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Rahmations coming in at the number 8 seed. Tommy coming in at the number 9 seed. But at this point, there's not a lot of difference between the various seeds up and down. Like, generally speaking, Masters is going to contain at least the top, 12 players, and they all seed themselves variously high and low across different months, seemingly randomly. Rahmations, last time we checked the leaderboard, 6.5 million PB, number 9 in the world. Tommy with a 4.57, number 14. Those are accurate as of the beginning of the month, and that is what is on the leaderboard document that the Classic Tetris community uses to track PBs. So any errors, they're not mine. So, but if that's changed since then, well, that'll be reflected next month. Of course, Tommy as a former CTM Masters event winner, and won that back all the way, if you can imagine, in April of 2021, over 3 years ago. Somehow, Tommy was playing Tetris over 3 years ago, and boy, it's going to take 3 years to get out of this dig, and he's not going to get out of it. So a round one, kind of a disaster there for Tommy, and Rahmations is good already. So Rahmations, you can top out. You are good. Tommy topped out at 117 in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. Oh, their prediction. Oh, okay. Let me choose the prediction here. I don't usually get involved in predictions, but I will do it. And if somebody wants to make some kind of prediction based on the current state that we have, maybe or I'll do one. You have a minute. You've got a minute. We made a 3-way prediction. Anyhow, these early top outs in game one can throw me off a little bit. But yes, Tommy was a winner of CTM Masters in April of 2021 in a sweep against Tristop all the way back then. And also very famously finished second in Mega Masters 2023, second to Alex T, and has a lot of top 8 finishes in CTM. Mostly going out to Alex T, Pixelandy, Fractal, and all that. Like, in fact, all of Tommy's exits in the top 8 came against Alex T, Miles, Andy, Fractal. Those are the 4 players. So if you're not like a world-class player, there's a good probability you're not going to knock Tommy out in the top 8. 176 Rahmations, 113 for Tommy. And as far as I can tell, I don't know, is this possible? Liquipedia is telling me that these two players have never played against each other in CTM. That seems very improbable to me. But I guess that, for just how often both these players have played. But I don't know, Tommy did have kind of a layoff for a while, right? Just was not playing. And maybe that was kind of during the time that, of Rahmations' ascent up the ranks. 228 for Tommy, 248 Rahmations. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I just feel like, these players have been around for a long time. and I've been making masters pretty consistently. $317 for Rahmations, $297 for Tommy. Both players out of the United States of America. August Han says, Vandy, we need to know what your dinner is. It's for a greater good. Honestly, I think I'm having leftovers. So earlier, we have these like low carb tortillas, right? And, I shop at Costco. So earlier, kind of like as a snack, because this is taking place right during dinner time. As a snack, I had a vision. And my vision was the following. Oh, there's the Five Below for Rahmations, $389 for Rahmations, $346 for Tommy. Costco sells, or just started selling, called like a smoked brisket dip, which is like a creamy brisket smoky dip. And it is so good. Like, if you are a Costco person and you have this available, and that sounds like something you might like, go get it immediately. So my vision was, though, to take a tortilla, smear it with this dip, put some shredded cheese in there, and a dill pickle, like a dill pickle spear, roll it up and put in the air fryer. And I did that as an experiment, and it was amazing. It was one of the best things I've ever eaten, and it was so simple. Anyway, that's a tip from your old pal Vandweller here, level 18 patter. $549 for Rahmations, $464 for Tommy NTG. What's up, Cobra? Yeah, I rolled it up kind of like a taquito, but I closed the ends of it. It was really good. It has brisket in the dip. It had, brisket, beef brisket. All right, Rahmations trying to figure out that right side. A couple of, kind of a weird gap there. He's just going to have to take this away. Oh, the very dependent board here for Rahmations, but it does have a 600K here on 19. 562 for Tommy as well. And so Rahmations trying to figure out how to get rid of that gap. It's been kind of pesky because every time he tries to get rid of it, he just covers it with something else. And then, of course, now that it's uncovered, created another gap over on that left side. So Rahmations would really like a bar here just to clean this up. Finally gets one with a covered well, but there's one with an uncovered well. 645 for Rahmations here on 21. 593 for Tommy on level 20. Why was there a dill pickle in there? Just to give it some acidity to cut through the brisket and the spiciness, just to give it a little bit of a something in there. It was an inspiration. Have you ever had like a fried pickle? That was kind of my inspiration. A fried pickle plus a kind of egg roll or taquito kind of thing. 708 Tommy, 757 Rahmations. And, Clausen pickles. Those are the best ones. All right, Rahmations trying to figure out the middle of this board. Again, kind of pesky gap there in the middle of it. Uncovers, long bar over, triple for Rahmations. And he's still clinging to the lead. Tommy has not really been able to capitalize too much on these burn sequences from Rahmations. All right, and it is 19, guys. We got to stop talking about brisket dip roll-ups with pickles in them. Now it's time to talk about Tetris. All right, there's a nice Tetris from Rahmations to clean up the middle here. Leaves another gap in column 10. They're just trying to figure out how to work this stuff away efficiently, and Rahmations has not had a huge I don't know, like a long run of just uninterrupted Tetrising. And yet finds himself in the lead by, you know, about 2 Tetrises or a Tetris and a half or something like that. All right, there's a nice Tetris Rahmations, 977. There's one Tommy, 951. All right, long bar over Tetris Rahmations, max out, 224 lines. Tommy looking to max out here while on 28. There's a Tetris. Rahmations is the first one into 29. The speed is doubled. He's got an A95. Both players rolling, of course. And Tommy is in. He's got the max out. A high board, though. Need to find skims. Oh, and that bar is going to hang in column 1. Tommy gets another one over, though. Can he survive after that? And no, but my goodness. I didn't think he was going to get that bar over to the right. Rahmations is good in game number 2. Unfortunate hang for Tommy in column 9. Gets one more bar over and maybe had an opportunity if the right pieces come to work this down, but not going to be able to do it. And Rahmations is good in game number 2. Andrew Meep says a 30 hertz 4-tap. Yeah, is that like frame perfect? Like, my goodness. Players are too good. So Rahmations is good. Up 2 games to none. 3-2-1 Tetris. Rahmations looking to lock it up right now. Tommy needs to win to stay in the tournament. And if that's going to happen, he's going to have to win 3 in a row. Oh, Colin. Colin used to do countdown bits, but there was one more person who used to do countdown bits. Like they would do like 6 bits, right? The 6 bits version, the mini countdown bits. I forget who that was. They went away. They were like, hey, Vandy, I apologize. I'm not going to be able to do countdown bits anymore. I got to go away for a while. And yeah, and I don't think I've seen them back. But, you know, for a good 6 months, they were just called out in every single video multiple times because of doing those 6 bits. No, it wasn't K9. K9 does the mega countdown bits, 321. Who was that? Colin would do the medium ones with the 33, 22, 11. Remember who I'm talking about, Mari? They would just do the 6 bits. Harold. That was Harold. Yeah. Yeah, Harold with the 3-2-1 countdown bits. Has Harold been around? I don't recall seeing Harold too much. What's up, random name YouTube? Welcome. Thanks for the kind words, which I hope are non-ironic or sarcastic, but I don't know. I have my good days and bad days. 162 for Rahmations through 32. 127 for Tommy, who's working on a center well. There's another Tetris Rahmations. Yeah, I haven't seen Harold around in a while. So Harold, if you're out there, at least say hello. You do not have to do any more countdown bits. But, you know, we just want to know that you're out there and doing well. Tetris Rahmations 255 through 50. 176 for Tommy. Both, well, no, Tommy will Tetris. And Rahmations gonna misdrop here, do the Das head shake. Build out, get a Tetris in the meantime. But anyway, speaking of ways of supporting the channel, did you know that if you are an Amazon Prime member, that every single month you have a Twitch Prime subscription that you can grant to the streamer of your choice, and while it is free for you, it gives a little bit of a financial boost for the streamer that you choose to give it. So consider giving it to this channel once in a while. Keep us in the rotation. Just don't let it expire because it's use it or lose it. And Rahmations with a snarl here gets a long bar over to the right side to bring this down. And Tommy kind of waiting here. Oh, kind of bar timing, not great. Gonna uncover that well again. Long bar in. Dirty Tetris, Tommy 267. All right, and both players now with clean boards. 293 Tommy, 387 Rahmations. All right, both players there with T-dependent boards. Okay, Rahmations, though, going to get a T-spin. Long bar over Tommy. Rahmations can't use his bar. Now is open again. Trebstep Gaming says, these guys are so good. I improve by watching. Like, what the hell? I wish that I would improve by watching, but apparently I don't. It's now been years. I thought I would wrap this max out quest in like 2020, something like that. Move on to other games. Alas, I'm too stupid to max out, apparently. 469 Rahmations, 374 Tommy. Amy Garcia says, why Joseph Saley isn't playing anymore? Yeah, he kind of retired, let's say 2021. And, once Rolling hit, I don't think he had the motivation to want to learn a whole new play style, and had already accomplished a lot in classic Tetris. And, I think it, just decided to move on into other things. 501 transition for Rahmations Tetris, and another one. So very quickly, 551 here on 20. 410 transition for Tommy. So kind of low transitions for both these players. Good adjustment for Tommy to tuck in a J piece. And, sometimes you just know, like, all right, I've accomplished what I want to accomplish. I have other things I want to do in life. And, and other people say, boy, this is a major thing for me that I want to keep doing forever. And, the sport is different for all different people. Some people want to stick around. Some people just said, okay, I've done my time, been there, done that. And that's okay. 545 Tommy, 666 now, 695 for Rahmations. Tetris Tommy, 573. So about 120,000 point lead for Rahmations. Yeah, I think you could, I don't know, at least a year ago, I do recall seeing him on Instagram powerlifting. But I don't know how recently he's posted or anything. I don't really look at Instagram, but like maybe twice a year. Tetris Rahmations 812, 688 Tommy. Tommy needs to win this one to keep going in the tournament. I think there were quite a few players, sort of when Rolling started, that were just like, well, that's not something I really want to put time into. And they've already had, sort of accomplishments that they can feel good about for the time that they played. And so it just made sense not to play anymore. And you got to respect it. 944 Rahmations, 827. I mean, can you imagine if every single good player back in 2020 and before stuck around, learned Rolling, how much tighter these top 16s would be? I mean, imagine every single great player back then still here and still top rollers. I mean, it would be insanity at the top. I mean, there already is insanity at the top. Max out here for Rahmations on 28. 896 for Tommy. I mean, it's already tight enough as it is at the top. Imagine if, like, you know, Richard. Oh boy, Rahmations in a transition here at A61. So the top that is a top out. The target for Tommy is A62. Has Forever in a Day, but a little bit awkward stack here. Okay, gonna uncover and get a triple down that right side. So now Tommy has a while. He could literally single this out the entire way. A62 is the target. Tommy's wanting to start, you know, a little comeback arc here. We'll need to chase this down to do it. He's got the max out. Now needs 50,000 points to get there. He knows the situation, so he is just gonna single and double it out. Low risk, no aggression, and low enough, especially as a roller, low enough where if he does make a mistake or something, he can recover. Yeah, there are a lot of players we, you know, from the past that we kind of miss. Wish they were still around. You know, Das Masters has brought some of those players back, and not just Das Masters, but the other Das events. All right, Tommy just 7,000 points away. 2 more should do it. And there it is. Tommy is going to take game number 3. So hold the phone. Rahmations is still alive in this tournament. When is CTM tap? Probably not some. I don't have a lot of interest in a CTM tap tournament. Let's get him started in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. And yeah, that one of those, you know, you got, I guess that's a good point that Keely is making, or I don't know how you pronounce your name, Keely13, but, you know, one of those games was an early top out by Tommy. So at least in that games, you know, Rahmations wasn't really put to the test. So, you know, this could be a closer match than it would appear to be at first. Or appear to be as a 2-0 game anyway. What am I saying? I don't know. Oh, Tommy setting up the Vits there with the Z piece. Now, had a Tetris ready, right? Did Tommy have the Tetris ready? But I don't know. This could cost Tommy. We'll see. If he gets droughted here, this could be a problem. Jasmine says, big fan of Vits. But that was kind of unnecessary Vits, right? Couldn't he have just taken the Tetris? He had a Tetris set up, right? Maybe I'm sitting too close to the screen. 141 Rahmations, 102. It was a triple setup? All right, thanks, Franklin. All right, well, maybe he saved himself a little bit of efficiency, although does find himself now about 60,000 points behind, just under 3 Tetrises. Trying to keep that well open for the bar. That will succeed. He'll get a Tetris. Oh, and the Vits. Look at the Vits for Tommy. Jasmine loves it. Like the interior Vits coming in from the other side. Jasmine, I'm sure, is freaking out. All the Vits enjoyers loving it. A couple long bars in a row for Rahmations. And here come those bars for Tommy. You can't use them for Tetrises. And people enjoying maybe the style of the Vits over the substance of the Vits. All right, Rahmations going to throw a long bar down that left side. That'll clear away one. And now just, well, a few more. Well, it's actually kind of covering that right side all over again. All right, gets a bar to the left. Plenty of room to spare there for Rahmations. And all right, it's going to bring this down and gets a Tetris. 319 for Rahmations, 100,000 point lead over Tommy at the moment. 342 to 237. Tetris Rahmations 364. Just about at the 80 line mark. You'd really like ideally to be around 400,000 points at 80 lines. And Tommy was well below that, so maybe not quite a suffer game, but certainly lower than Tommy would like to be right now. Rahmations working one row off the bottom. And players getting a little droughted here. Finally, the bar for Rahmations, that same bar coming in for Tommy. You know, Tommy back by several lines. I do have to be careful not to spoil the long bars. I don't have to be careful, but I do try to be careful not to do it. $412 Tommy, $465 Rahmations. All right, Rahmations on that left side, a bit dependent here now. Has a little bit of traffic to clean up here. So sort of fighting now. Up near the top of the screen. Oh no, that S to the right for Rahmations is going to be a top out at 471. And Tommy needs to chase down a 472 is safe as a chase down target for Tommy. So Rahmations getting a little bit high on the screen there, too close to transition and just ended up hanging a piece. So 472, and there it is, 472 for Tommy. So maybe players exchanging gifts in this match. Yeah, 472 is good, Tommy. You are good. Is there on the screen. Both players ready and everybody is ready. The winner of this goes on to round two to face the Dangler. Let's get him started. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right, Tommy filling out his board, kind of started with a stair, almost like a perfect staircase, but filling all that out and is now flat and Tetrising. 3 Tetrises to start off this game number 5 for Tommy and for Rahmations as well. The players stacking. Tommy might be the first one to have to take a burn. And it looks like that is going to be the case. Tetris Rahmations 114 through 20 lines. Another Tetris Rahmations. All right, Tommy was taking a few skims here, waiting out the bar. There's the bar. 118. And Rahmations 182, 400 through 32. So it started out 2-0 for Rahmations. We have Tommy has crawled back. To force a decider. And so far so good for Rahmations. You know, both players at pretty good paces. If you're, you know, around 200k through 40 lines, you're doing pretty well. Tetris for Tommy, for Rahmations, 273 through 48. Oh, Bacon, you're trying to comment or curse it. $283 for Tommy, $342 for Rahmations. There's a Tetris Tommy, 307 through 66. And Rahmations 364. If you double their score right now, you'll get a sense for what they are on pace for, transition-wise. $410 through 72 for Rahmations, $352 for Tommy. Another Tetris for Rahmations, who's piling them up. All right, Rahmations is forced into his first couple of burns. He started off with 76 consecutive lines worth of Tetrises. But this is a tournament, not a perfect Tetris competition. And so when you got to take the burn, you take the burn. I think sometimes, you know, it's happened not more than a few times that players have said, oh, I'm on perfect pace. Let me just try to do a little bit of suboptimal stacking here to see if I can preserve my perfect pace. And which is great if that's what you're going after, but generally in a tournament, you want to win the tournament. So 494 for Rahmations, 476 for Tommy. And, you know, despite, you know, Rahmations being basically perfect, well, actually perfect through 76 lines, Tommy not all that far behind. There's a Tetris Rahmations. Good adjustment to make room, I think, for an incoming J and get Tetris ready. 562 for him, 521 for Tommy. $630 for Rahmations. 2 Tetrises available before the 19 transition. It's kind of high there in columns 8 and 9 and starting to pile up before we get to 19. So we'll want to take care of this and flatten this stack out a bit. And now it's a real drought. Tommy is in at 560. So Rahmations taking a couple of flattening burns here on that right side. Trying to avoid taking a triple. Ends up having to take a double here. That is a real drought for both of these players. Long bar over Tetris Rahmations, 671, 570 for Tommy, who's going to kind of hesitate or just kind of, I don't know, maybe I want to call it a panic placement, but have a non-optimal placement in the middle of the board here. It's going to cause additional burning. He's got to open up that right side, though. Long bar over Tetris, 604 Tommy, 677 Rahmations. And Rahmations would love to bring this stack down, does so with a Tetris. Tommy's going to get one 634. So Tommy ahead in lines by about 9, 7 to 9 lines, something like that. Rahmations Tetris, good flat stacking here from both of our players. Tetris, Tommy 668. So about 100,000 point lead for Rahmations, and lines in hand as well. So he's got the score advantage, the pace advantage, the lines, basically every advantage at the moment. Tetris Tommy 787. There's one Rahmations 860. Another Tetris Tommy 818. It's going to be really up to Rahmations here to try to take a good stack into 29. And just stay alive and keep scoring, because he has a decent lead now over Tommy. Tetris Tommy 916, 929 Rahmations. Again, Rahmations behind in lines by about 13. So even when Rahmations is behind, at least right now, he's ahead. Until and unless some long slowdown happens. Kind of dependent in the middle of that board, though. L's and J's and line dependent all over the place. We're just going to have to find a way to bring this down as we approach level 29. Max out here for Rahmations. There's the max out for Tommy. Another Tetris Tommy A58. Now he's, trying to establish a real lead. He's got a score lead. Again, still ahead in lines by a little bit. Tetris Rahmations A79. And Tommy is in a little awkwardly here, but able to bring this down with some good pieces, fill this board out. Rahmations is in at 1.115. Tetris Rahmations B53, ahead by about 70,000 points. A low board here on 29. Trying to build it out. Good piece for that left side. Trying to bring this down before it gets out of hand. That left side is going to be a problem for Rahmations. That's going to be a top out at B62. So the target for Tommy is B63. And he's starting to bring this down. Needs to uncover that right side. He's got forever and a day to try to work this out. And we'll see if Tommy can do it and complete the reverse sweep. Rahmations brought a good board into 29. But ended up kind of placing a piece over on that left side that made him dependent, and then couldn't get pieces over there and ended up hanging them. So Tommy just here in check down mode, just singling, doubling. Does not want to do anything too crazy. B63, as we said, is the target. And it's so tough against a champion like Tommy to really just give him anything at all. Because you can see the cold, calculated precision with which he's chasing these down. And that's going to do it for this match. Tommy will come back with a reverse sweep. Rahmations was up 2-0. And an unfortunate kind of game 4 for Rahmations. Going to allow Tommy back into the match, and Tommy will take advantage and move on to round number 2. We will watch Tommy finish this out. Just about 21 lines away from the 39 transition. And no, he's going to top out pretty much right now. Okay. Hey, everybody. This is your old pal, Vandweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly. And I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day.